Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again, and for this video it is going to be one more Psychic Cup team that I came up with, and I feel that this is the most safest Psychic Cup team which is spammy, have coverage for the meta, is safe and consistent also in this meta, because I've got a lead of Malamar over here, which is super strong contender, as you guys know, because of the foul play and super power. But I'm not running super power, as you guys can see from the graphics. I'm actually running hyper beam that gives me a nuke potential for some of the like bulky mons in the meta, to which I am since my Malamar struggles against the fairies, being like maybe Gardevoir or the galarianrapidash, I have to bring a strong core for that, which is going to be my own Rapidash and Victini over here, which does make up a good core to cover all the weaknesses for the for the Malamar. Actually, this is the team. So the thing is, this team is actually good against Bruxish as well, which is super strong and is coming up very frequently for the meta, because Malamar and my Rapidash does well against that also. But once down shields, Victini also does well. So that is the thought process that I had, and without further more delay, let's quickly jump into the first battle, which I take a lead against Grumpig. So this is the battle which I wanted to showcase, because Grumpig is not a good pick for this meta, but since they safe swapped into their Rapidash, it is going to be tough for me. But the thing is, since it's going to be a Grumpig over here, I got a bit overconfident with this team over here, to which I now safe swap into my Victini, who can take in this body slams all day long without the debuff, and they are going for the body slam once again. So right now this is going to be a Mega Horn, which I shield up, and I'll be going for the back-to-back recreates right now. So they lets it go, which I am fine with. And now and if they're coming back with their Grumpig, I did not know the count over here, so I overfarmed a bit, to which they will be going for the next Shadow Ball over here. That does take my Victini out, and the final Pokemon they have access to is going to the Victini of their own, which is not really great because I did not knew the moveset, which caught me off guard, and I have to go for one foul play right now to get the final shield, or maybe they let it go, which is again a good thing, and they CMP tie on the next move. That is a really good play from my opponent's end, which is super nice. And now I have to shield up this recreate over here, and I have to go for the hefty farm down right now. So I will be able to get the farm down over here, but since they're having access to one shield, I went for the bait move of body slam once again, and I think they calls it, which they do right now. And this is not a good scenario, because they can now go for one Shadow Ball to get the knockout, and I went for the next body slam once again, which does get the final shield, and now I'll be going for the next body slam, which does not take out the Grumpig, which is really rough for me. And they have enough energy for one Shadow Ball, which will just take down my Rapidash, and that is going to be really well played from my opponent's end. So do not get overconfident when you end up seeing this kind of cool stuffs or spicy stuff in this meta, to which now moving into the next matchup, I pick up a lead against Claydol. So I have got my lesson right now, so I'll not be overconfident, and I'll not underestimate any Pokemon in this cup, to which I'll be overfarming quite a bit. And I thought of going for a CMP tie, to which I go for the first foul play. So since they have shielded once, I will be matching up on shields right now, and I'll be going for the next Earth Power, which I do outpace to the next one, which is fine. So this is the next foul play, which will be getting the knockout if not shielded, which does get the knockout. And now they comes back with their Charmer over here, to which I cannot go for one foul play, which is really not good, to which now they comes back with their Gardevoir, and they switch backs into their own Bruxish. So Bruxish, though it is using Bite, since I am part Fairy as well, I'll be comfortably taking in this bites, and I'll be going for my final shield, to which ends up being Psychic Fangs, which is fine. And now I can go for one Body Slam to get the final shield and one Mega Horn to get the knockout for this Bruxish, and goodbye for this battle over here. So they comes back with the Gardevoir, and I have like loaded Victini over here. I'll be offloading this first we create, which will land over here, getting the win for this battle here as well. So that is really going to be a good game, really well played. GG's. Moving on to the third battle, I pick up a lead against Bruxish. So this is the thing, that my team is kind of a hard it's not a fully anti Bruxish team, but it's a partly anti Bruxish team over here, because I'll be resisting these bites with my Malamar and my Rapidash over here. To which now, since they lets it go, I'll be going for the first foul play, getting the knockout, and now they comes back with their Rapidash, which will not appreciate this foul plays because it does land for huge amount of neutral damage over here. And from this kind of range, they cannot farm me down, to which I will be going to let this next move go through, which ends up being a Body Slam, which I am fine with. And now I can easily come back with my own Victini over here, and I'm looking for a very rough hard farm down. So I'll be letting this next Body Slams go through, and I can take one more Body Slam as well, which I'll be not shielding once again, and I'll be going for the farm down. So if I can farm down, which is going to be looking really good, because I have so much loaded energy with my own Victini over here, and the final Pokemon ends up being a Bronzong over here. So I'll be going for the first we create, and I'll be quickly safe swapping now into my own Rapidash over here, which have access to this neutral Mega Horns, which hits like a truck. And since Bronzong is tanky, it can handle that, but since they let it go, I'll be shielding up this next move, because it will be a heavy slam, which is super effective. And now from this kind of range, I have to just build up to back-to-back Body Slams over here to thread the final shield, which I think I'll be getting off with from this Body Slam. And now I can easily go for one more Body Slam, which will just be enough, doing enough eraser damage right now, getting the knockout for this Bronzong, and also getting the win for the battle over here. So really well played. Hopping into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Bruxish once again. So this is really good that I keep up this lead and I keep it away from my Victini over here. I'll be overloading up on energy, and on CMP tie, I went for the foul play over here, so that they can sneak in like fast moves over here. So this will be a Psychic Fangs, which is triple resisted right now, but it have got my defense dropped. So I'll be going for the next foul play, which almost knocks it out, and one poison jab, one psychiccup does get the knockout, and they comes back with their own Gardevoir of their own. So I'll not be staying up in this matchup. I'll be quickly safe swapping again into my Victini, and the final Pokemon they have got access to is going to be their Metagross. So Metagross will not appreciate this V-Creates coming in, because it's super squishy and V-Creates hits like a truck over here. And I'll be building up again for back-to-back V-Creates over here. First, I'll be getting the final shield from my opponent's end, and I can now win CMP tie if they want to do so. For the next V-Create, getting the knockout for the Metagross, and now all they have access to is going to be their very low Gardevoir, and I'll be easily coming back with my Rapidash over here, which they recognize as their fate and just top lifts the game over here. GG's. Moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Hypno, which is really good because Thunder Punch is not threatening, and Shadow Ball does take neutral damage, does hit for neutral damage onto this Malamar, but it is not threatening. So I can comfortably take in one Shadow Ball over here, and I'll be going for the next foul play in this case. So foul play number 2 does gets the shield, and since they are quite farming up quite a bit, so I'll be letting this first Shadow Ball go through. I can easily go for one more foul play before they could reach to the next move, and this might get the final shield or get knockout, which they let it go, and now they comes back with their, I believe, yeah, it's going to be a Bronzong. So Bronzong will not be able to farm me down with this not resisted, it's a neutral feint attack. So I'll be going for the first foul play, and before I can reach to the next one, they have to throw, which they could not. And now since I have back-to-back foul plays going in, so I might get the final shield from my opponent's end, and I could be easily switching back into my Victini over here, and I will be shielding up. This might be a payback, which it is, and I shield up, and they have access to Bruxish in the back as a final Pokemon, to which, as I've already mentioned, Victini is not a good counter for it, but since shields are down, Victini can take out a Bruxish over here, which is super squishy, and with two Vicreates, it does get the knockout for this Bruxish, and they have got access to is going to be a very low Bronzong over here, to which yeah, I can easily and safely come back with my Rapidash over here, get a bit of extra energy, and I can go for one Body Slam or maybe a Mega Horn, which would be overkill. So I'll be shielding up this next Heavy Slam, and I'll be going for the next Mega Horn, which they recognize, and top lives the game once again. So this team putting in so much effort, and people are actually top lifting the game because how good, how spammy this is. Moving on to the next matchup, I pick up a lead against Mirror Malamar over here. So for this, I have my own Hyper Beam and not my superpower, because superpower does debuff me, to which I'll be going for the first Hyper Beam, which lands for massive damage, and I'll be quickly safe swapping again into my own Gardevoir over here. Not Gardevoir, it's going to be Galarianrapidash. So I can let this first foul play go through, and I can easily go for the farm down, which they recognize, and they switch out into their own Bronzong over here. So Bronzong, though it's tanky and Power Steel, it will not appreciate this Mega Horn, which they shield up, and now I'll be able to reach to the next Mega Horn just before they can farm me down, which I think they'll be letting it go, and it lands for massive neutral damage in this scenario, which is really good, and that's great actually. To which now I'll be easily coming back with my Victini, and I'll be going for a really strong, rough and hefty farm down. So I'll be going for the first shield, which does ends up being a Heavy Slam, and I think this is going to be the next payback right now. So I have to shield up because my Malamar is not too much healthy, to which now they comes back with their hard answer to Victini, which is going to be Claydol. So I'll be going for the nuke of Overheat, and I'll be switching out into my Malamar once again, and I can reach to the next foul play over here, but since they are up a shield, they will be shielding this up, and they might go for one more Earth Power or a Shadow Ball that will be eventually getting the knockout for my Malamar over here, which is looking to be a really tough situation for me, because I have to get the farm down onto this Claydol with quick attacks so they can farm me down, which I do with a sliver of HP, and I have got loaded two Vicreates loaded with me right now. So first Vicreate does knock out the Malamar over here, and I'll be able to reach the next Vicreate before they snuck in the feint attack, which will just get the knockout for this low Bronzong over here, getting me the win for this super close battle over here. So GG's and well played. Moving on to the next battle and the final one for this video over here, and I pick up a lead against Alolan Raichu this time. So Alolan Raichu is, I think it's going to be a really good closer for this curve, because it have access to Wild Charge, Grass Knot, Thunder Punch, which everything apart from Claydol like take neutral damage from. To which I'll be letting this first Thunder Punch go through, and they will be switching out into their own Malamar to catch the first charge move onto their Malamar, which ends up being a foul play, which is really good. That now I can easily come back with my own Rapidash over here, go for the first Body Slam, which does hit for neutral damage, and it would be putting it potentially into a farm down range, but not before they could throw one foul play. So since it's neutral, I can tank one foul play, and I have to save up shields for my Malamar and my Victini over here because how spammy Raichu is. But since this Raichu is quite healthy, so I'll be opting for the first shield onto this Thunder Punch, and I will be going to unload this Body Slam, which lands for quite a bit of hefty neutral damage right now. And they cannot farm me down with Thunder Shocks over here, so they have to throw, which they went for a CMP die. So I'm not quite sure. I was not sure that Raichu wins CMP against this. To which now they comes back as the final Pokemon is going to be Galarianrapidash, and I'll be letting this charge move go through, which surely will be a Body Slam over here as I was counting, and they can recognize their fate because I was loaded and top lives the game over here, giving me the win for the final battle here also. So I went up I think 12-3 with this team, which is really awesome. How good, how cool, how consistent and safe this team is. So it's really good. So if you're using this team, do let me know how it is working out for you. And that will be all for this video, and see you again in the next one, which I believe will be a anti-Bruxish team over here in the Psychic Cup. And that will be all, and see you again in the next one. Till then, peace.